Hey, welcome to GameDay Sports Radio. I'm pleased today to be joined by Jason Smith of JSMITH Hoops. Jason and I, we tried to get together last week at the Spain Park Hoover game, but the crowd was pretty enthusiastic and made talking over them a little bit difficult, so we decided to do this in a little bit more calm environment today. How are you doing today, Jason?
Doing well. Glad to be on with you. And yeah, that game was rocking. The Hoover fans, Spain Park fans had it going in there, so it was hard to hear each other. But I'm glad to be back and excited to give y'all some information about my company.
Hey, well, I didn't know this until last week till you told me, but you played in the very first Hoover Spain Park basketball game when you were a senior in high school. Do you remember way back when that was?
Oh yeah, a long time ago. And '02 was the first year Hoover and Spain Park played each other. And we actually played each other in a tournament and in Homewood. I remember, I'll never forget it, Homewood High School. And Spain Park, we're all sophomores and we're a little older. We're all seniors and juniors. So we beat up on them a little bit, but it was great to be a part of that first game between the two Hoover schools.
Well, Jason, I'm not sure you can see this, but I went ahead and just so some of the people out there can see who you are and what you do. I've got some of your highlights pulled up here from I guess it was you Brazil 7 3-pointers.
Oh yeah,
And from
Brazil.
way downtown. I didn't realize until I started watching some of these that you can't get far enough out to shoot the three, can you?
Absolutely. I always joked around. Once I cross half court, I'm in scoring range. So oh yeah, that's what we do is shoot the ball in.
And something else that it picked up on and through some of your highlights here. You guys, you really throughout, I guess, your career through middle school, high school, and even college and the pros. You really focused on fundamentals. I mean, you were pretty fundamentally sound, and that was something that you, I think, took to heart. And even with no offense, your size, but the fundamentals is kind of what really kind of set you apart. And that's something that you, if you don't mind talking about that a little bit, something that you guys have built and based your program off of.
Absolutely. Started with my older brother Joe. He wasn't the most athletic, but he was more skilled and that allowed him to go to the next level. And that's our teaching philosophy. My teaching philosophy, our family's teaching philosophy is we want to outwork everybody and be more skilled than everyone. I was here in the state of Alabama, we were very good athletes. When you start talking about nationally, there's great athletes, there's phenomenal athletes. So the one thing with all our basketball games, we try to model our games after being the most skilled players on the court. And that me being a barely 6-foot guard, being able to shoot it from anywhere on the court once I stepped on the court which allowed me to play 11 years professional basketball.
You mentioned your brother Joe, but your family is kind of a staple here in Birmingham about basketball. You've got your brother Joe, yourself. You got your sister Jada. Your other sister's always she's gonna hit me next time she sees me because I can never remember her name. And that
Jordan.
Jordan,
Yeah.
and I should remember that because my daughter's name's Jordan. And then of course Jamie, who is playing. Where's Jamie playing right now?
He's in France, top division France. He's fighting, coming back from ACL injury, so it's his first year back playing. He's having a great year over there.
That's something that your family's done is even though you've all grown up here, you've played here, you've gone off to college, some of you gone off to the pros. You guys always seem to find your way back here and give back to the basketball community and try to put something back into the community of what you got out of it, which I think is real important for people out there to know.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is home to us, and we always come home. We always come home. We've been all over the world, but we run camps, clinics, and training all back here, back home. We do it all over the world as well. And that's a big part of why we really got into this, because I'm learning from the best coaches in Brazil. Jamie's learning from the top coaches in France. Joe's learning from the top coaches in Italy. And it's cool because we kind of put everybody's strategies together and came up with our own JSMITH Hoops strategy from that. So we've been all over the world, seen it at all different levels, and I love sharing it back with our community.
That's one thing I think too. That I've been impressed with your program. My kids have gone through there. Is you have such a wide range of athletes that you work with, starting with the kids in middle school, even younger, and then with your Smoker Joe's camp and some of the other camps that you do, all the way up to training and even training professional athletes throughout the year. Some of them that are back from overseas playing, and Really, you seem to find the right place, the right coach to put the athlete in to make sure that they're going to get the most out of it and not get discouraged. So how do you kind of pair everybody up, and what's it take for somebody to train and work in your program?
Absolutely. We have several great coaches that are on the JSMITH Hoops training team, and we're very selective. We're very selective to become a JSMITH Hoops coach. One thing you have to do is be able to listen and lead, and also follow directions and teach the JSMITH Hoops formula. All of our coaches have played some type of college pro basketball, but we all teach the same formula. And whether you're an NBA player or a beginning player, we have coaches at every level that can teach your child and get them the best experience as possible. One thing about me as a trainer, I've heard people say it all the time. You're too young to start out. Wait till you get more skilled, and I'll start training you. As a trainer, you have to be patient. To me, I can teach a 5-year-old just like I can teach an NBA player. And there's some stuff NBA players, overseas players, college players won't pick up on right away. So you have to have patience and be able to show them and teach them how to do it. And that's the same thing with kids all the way down. So I really take pride in being able to make workouts hard, fun, and be able to teach clients what they need to do to get better and work on the things they need to do to help improve their basketball game.
So you got for all those parents that are interested in wondering what they're going to do with their kids as they get out of the holiday, you got a holiday basketball camp coming up. Just pop the details about that up on the screen for people to see. But if you want to touch on that a little bit real quick, and maybe some of the other ones that you have coming up in the spring, and then after that I want to touch real quick on AAU with you. So, but if you don't mind, tell some of the people out there about what you got coming up over the holidays.
Absolutely, absolutely. Whenever the kids are out of school, hey, we're in the gym. We don't want them sitting around playing Nintendo all day, doing nothing at home. So we always tell the kids the first day of camp, hey, your friends who aren't here, hey, if they're on vacation, they're sleeping still, whatever they're doing, we're getting better at basketball. So anytime the kids are out of school, we love to take the opportunity to get them out there and get them doing some work together. And for parents who haven't met us before or done any work with us before, that's a good starting point to come out to one of our camps and see how much fun and interest your child will have after the camp. And a lot of times after camps, when kids come for the first time, they end up signing up for private lessons and private training. We also have group training throughout the week. But anytime the kids are out of school, spring break, any of these holidays, we'll have camps. And in the summer, we'll have 2 big camps. One will be the first week of June, and the last one will be the last week of July.
Jason, one other thing, again, I've been around your program for a while, and you've trained 2 of my daughters and my son for a little bit, but my daughters have gotten a lot out of your camps and your training, but even more so your AAU and your spring program and your fall league. And I think that's one of the things that kind of sets JSMITH Hoops and JSI apart is the way you guys handle some of your AAU and your spring leagues. Is AAU, someone can be extremely competitive where you're going to showcases every weekend all across the country, but not everybody's at that level, and you guys are cultivating teams and finding tournaments to get them in to keep them competitive so they can develop to that level to where they're going to select tournaments at some point, or just getting better so they can be a bigger contributor. And I mean, that's a tough job to find that wide variety of talent and patch it together onto teams that are competitive, that have fun, that get positive experience out of it. So how did you guys kind of create that model? And because it seems to be extremely successful.
Yes. I think we had 21 teams last year, so I think we were one of the biggest AU programs in the Southeast last year. And everyone got better at basketball. Everyone had good seasons, productive seasons, and enjoyed their playing experience. We started our AU program 6 years ago, JSI Elite. And to be honest, the main reason we did it is all these kids were training. When it was time to send them to go play places, I couldn't, I didn't have word. I didn't have anywhere to send them. Hey, where do we need to go? Hey, where do we need to go? So we started our own AU program to make sure the kids we're working with in training throughout the week. We're teaching them how to play basketball the correct way, whether you're trying to make your middle school team or your high school team or even be on a rec team. We want to teach you how to play basketball the correct way. So with that said, we do have very competitive teams that'll travel every weekend, and we also have teams that are guys that are just getting started out in the AAU ball and just learning the ropes in it. And we have tournaments. I put a lot of work and time into finding tournaments that fit each team to make it a good experience and competitive experience every time they step on the court.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of benefit there, and one other thing I think that I would like to mention is Jason, no matter where you go, you will see Jason somewhere at some basketball game, whether it be Vestavia, Spain Park, Mountain Brook, Hoover, Trustful. I mean, you just love basketball, and if you're not coaching or training, you love to go watch it, and you like to get out. And I think it's also it's nice to see you take an interest in the kids you do train, and that's one of the reasons you do go to a lot of those programs, is to go watch those kids play and see how they're doing and incorporate maybe some of what you see now. The last thing I guess we'll touch on real quick, and then I got your last video I want to play for people to see a little bit more about your program. But last year there was a big change in the scope of AAU where AHSAA got rid of the regulations where you could only have so many people from each school on a team, and so that kind of freed up more people to be able to play because they changed those regulations, and I believe those are still staying in place this year. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, sir.
So, Jason, I'm going to let you go, but I do have your. Before we do, I'm going to go ahead and tack on to the end here your video that you guys have on your website that kind of talks a little bit about your program, and so fans can kind of see and hear some of your words and see some firsthand what some of your camps and clinics are about. Thank you for your time today. I do have your information up there. Jason Smith, JSMITH Hoops. You can email them at info@jsmithhoops.com or visit their website, jsmithhoops.com. And of course, out there you can get linked into all their Instagram, Facebook, and every other. Jason's a social media giant out there. There's no he leaves no stone unturned to tell people about his program, and he's wise to do it because it's a lot of benefit. If your kids are playing basketball, I highly recommend you give them a look because they will benefit from it.
Absolutely. Thank you, George, for everything, your time. Listeners, thank you so much, and hope to see you guys soon.
Thanks, Jason. You have a great day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Some of the main things we focus on with the JSMITH Hoops training culture is work ethic. We're going to work you hard, we're going to train you hard, and try to instill in these kids that it's not only in basketball, but it's in life. You have to work hard for what you want. Second thing, training. We're going to train you and teach you how to play the game the right way. We're going to teach you how to shoot the correct way, dribble the correct way, and play basketball the correct way. Third, development. We put your kids in basketball situations and make sure they're ready for the next step, which instills a lot of confidence in players. Our mission: to provide superior instruction dedicated to improving and developing the basketball and social skills of our youth based on our upbringing and worldly experiences. We want to increase enthusiasm, opportunities, and level of coaching for the game of basketball, which in turn will grow the game and produce more players. JSMITH Hoops, we are basketball.